Hello, I'm Reverend Karen Davis of First Christian Church. Today I'm here in front of the baptistry and the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. We practice baptism by immersion. That means that folks are lowered into the water and then come up out of the water. The reason that we do that is that it symbolizes that just as Christ died and rose again, that we die with Christ to our old way of living, and that we rise up to a new life. This week we are reflecting on Romans chapter 6, verses 1 through 11, where the Apostle Paul, as he writes to the church at Rome, is reminding them of that very thing, that we have died with Christ, we have died to our sin, and now we are being raised up to a new life, to live in God's grace. Does that mean that when we come up out of those baptismal waters that life is perfect and that we never make another mistake? No, it doesn't. It means that life still will be challenging, that we still will make mistakes, and that we'll ask for God's forgiveness. But it doesn't mean that we go on making the same mistakes, that we go on living a life that is hurtful to God and those around us, thinking that all we have to do is ask for forgiveness. No, true repentance means that we turn around, that we try to live a new life, that we come out of those baptismal waters with the hope and intent to follow in the footsteps of Christ. We know that we'll still make mistakes, and that is why we know we serve a gracious God who is forgiving. So we continue to seek God's forgiveness, even as we continue to try to live the life that God intends for us, following in the footsteps of Christ, to be loving, compassionate, generous, and kind. So I invite you this week to celebrate and give thanks for God's grace and forgiveness, and to go forth living a life worthy of that grace, showing forgiveness even as it has been shown to us, and live a life following in the footsteps of Christ. May God continue to grant you forgiveness even as you continue to follow in the way of Christ.